Welcome to JWL Sports, where we review all the best sports tips from around the world. Now you're probably wondering, why should I watch over here instead of anywhere else? And that's because over there, they don't care about what you have to say. They say this all the time, they talk down to us, they think we're just a bunch of clowns on YouTube, Twitter. But I think it's the opposite. I think we know exactly what we're talking about. So I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. Without further ado, let's get to it. We're watching a clip of First Things First, talking about the Timberwolves dominating the Nuggets. Now, all right, before I let the clip play, I need to say something real fast. I was thinking about this all last night while I was watching the game. You guys know that I was saying that the Timberwolves are going to win, or that, even before this, I was kind of like, I'm not, too sure. It's going to be a really interesting game, but I was definitely leaning towards the Timberwolves. Then, especially after that first game, I was like, Timberwolves definitely winning this. Although I did not think that it was going to unfold like this. Not at all. So I'm not even going to act like I was expecting this. In fact, I was already going to be like, man, this is so cheap. I can't believe Rudy Gobert's not there. This is so annoying. And it didn't even matter. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. That's been a word that I've been saying all day today. But before I start, Nick Wright's whole argument against the Nuggets with the Lakers was that the Lakers were outcoached, that the Lakers would be able to beat the Denver Nuggets, okay? That they would be able to beat the Denver Nuggets, that they're the better team, that the Lakers are arguably the first or second best team, or then they might be the second best team, and that's why they're losing to these Denver Nuggets. And that the coach, Darvin Ham, needs to go. After watching that game, last night's game of the Timberwolves versus the Nuggets, the 106-80, answer this question for me. Do you really think the difference between the Timberwolves doing what they're doing to the Nuggets and the Lakers losing to the Nuggets is just a simple coach? Do we really think that's what it is? That if we took the Timberwolves coach and put it on the Lakers, that the Lakers would have been able to dominate the Denver Nuggets? Do we really think that's what it's all about? Do we really think so? Because I don't think so. And so to me, that's all the proof we need. That Nick Wright was 1,000% wrong with his previous take the other day about that. So I just needed to plant that flag, wave it around, and then plant that flag and highlight it. Because that's all I was thinking about. I had an ear-to-ear smile watching this game, and I'm just like, I'm literally like laughing at myself, being like, this is not just coaching. The Timberwolves are legit. Coaching is great too. They had an amazing plan against the Denver Nuggets, but it's more than just that. It's more than just that. Their players can play basketball consistently, have the stamina, the skill set. They know how to play together. All those things matter. Their stars are in their actual prime and not, unfortunately, aging out. So let's take a listen to this clip, and we'll break it down further from there.
Just tuning in, the guy picked the Denver Nuggets to win Game 2.
And to win the championship a few weeks ago.
Don't be a sore sport.
That doesn't matter. Exactly.
Who did I pick to win the series?
Exactly.
The Wolves. Excuse me, your Wolves.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is the series over? Sorry, gee whiz.
Does this answer your question?
Well, not really, to be 100% honest.
I hate to do this to you, Wiles and Nick. I have implored you for maybe a year now to let the tiger out.
Yeah.
Right?
What tiger is there?
Well, and finally, because usually when we make predictions, you just say something silly, like the Rockets. The Rockets and the Magic in the final. Everybody laughs. It's Wild. Look at Wild. He's a national treasure. He's cute and all that, right? And this year, after me saying, let the tiger out, Wilds, let the tiger out, you made a real prediction. Nuggets, no one is beating them in 7, right? You got on the rooftop and you screamed it at the top of your lungs. You had bass in your voice. You put 10 toes down. Chest was out. Yeah. And here we are. So, I do have to do it. I hate to, but I do.
Banner?
What is it?
What did Bruised Wolves do to Wilds' Nuggets? They went into your house.
Oh, no.
They threw up their feet on your coffee table.
Yeah, ate a sandwich.
They told you, get me a robe. In fact, get me a robe in T-Wolves colors.
Oh.
Yeah.
And of course, yep, that's right, you guessed it.
Oh, wait. Dude.
Get me a sandwich.
I can't believe this is a
And some chips and a soda pop.
Okay.
That's what they did. That's exactly what they did to your boys.
What they did. That it.
It is absolutely over.
Okay.
You might get a game, maybe two, maybe. I doubt
2.
that.
Well, hold on a second.
You might
maybe
get
2.
two. But this series
know
is
about
over.
that.
Nick, quickly, a little real analysis.
Okay. Oh, well, then
That
you might
was
have
real.
to take your shoes down and sunglasses off.
The T-Wolves, maybe I'll leave the defense to you.
Yeah.
But they have 2 number 1 scoring options.
2 number 1
Two.
draft picks.
Right.
2 number 1 overall picks.
We know Anthony Edwards is a number 1 scoring option.
Yeah.
Cat, Nick, career 23, 11 on 52% shooting, 40% from 3.
There is such unnecessary hate towards Cat, or they think that, he's a bust or not good enough because he didn't lead, the Timberwolves to a ring, alone, which no player has. Not LeBron, not Steph, not KD, not Jordan, no one. And so I feel like, he gets so misaligned, Cat, and especially for a really nice guy too. And he's a great player. You need other great players to win. It just took Minnesota years to fill in the gaps with Ant, Gobert, and company. Give him a good coach, all of those things. Cat is a real dude. Colin Cowherd was talking about how like they could maybe move off of Cat, and it's like that was such a head scratcher moment for me because I'm just thinking to myself, what are you talking about? That's like, back during the Warriors, during their uprise, when they first won, saying like, okay, maybe we're gonna move off of Clay. It's like, what? You need Klay Thompson. Just because Steph Curry's so amazing and you have Draymond Green, and it doesn't mean that you could just move on from Klay Thompson. So Cat also needs plenty of praise because he is just important to this team as anyone else.
Cat has the game of a number 1 option, but not the demeanor, the intangible, the dog.
The bravado.
Kind of like Anthony Davis. Davis has the game. Davis better defensively. Cat better
shooter.
offensively.
Yeah.
So they got 2 number 1 options, and that's all I'll say about the defense because I'm
Yeah.
sure you want to get to it.
No.
The Nuggets Wilds looked last night
Lost.
like a bunch of suburban
Shook.
kids playing against a team from the hood for the first time. It was like, what the? I mean, they were swarming them. They looked like, what in the world is going on?
Looked like the game was being played at 2 speeds.
Yes, and that was it. So, Wilds, I'm sorry. I'm glad.
I'm going to expand on this. For some of you who maybe don't have access to what Brew is saying in terms of, one style of gameplay versus another style of gameplay. And I'm going to speak in very general languages here to avoid any controversial topics, controversial, little sound bites here. But I've had the moment. I've had the experience of what he's talking about, of playing in a certain style, and then when you either go to a tournament and you're facing people from all over the country or all over the state, or just even pick up, and now you're just playing with different groups of people. There's different styles. There really is. And it could be from the neighborhoods you're from. It could be the philosophy of play. Like there really is different depending on even just where you are from around the country as well. Like it's basketball has its own language, honestly. The way you're playing in the suburbs is different than where you're playing, downtown in Philly or New York, or even, down in Florida, for instance. Like it's different. Asians, for instance, there's so many different pickup courts. You always have like this one group where it's always like the Asian community, and they usually stick to themselves, and they shoot so much more than being physical and driving to the basket, for instance. I've seen that a million times over the years. And so I've had that shell-shocking moment where like I'm used to playing in a certain style and also playing other people that are in a certain style, and then you play, in a game or a tournament or wherever, and it's so much more physical. The defense is right up in your face, and you're just like, whoa, I'm like not used to that. I'm used to someone giving me like, a step or two, and that's not, you're immediately suffocated by it. And that is what Brew is saying, is that's what it was like. It was like Denver Nuggets were like, I'm not used to playing basketball with guys that are so up in our face right now, where you are playing hard defense nonstop, 24/7, all up in you. And again, I've had that moment many times, and it was just like, what the heck is this right now? And it was just like, and you're like, isn't this a foul? Like, what's happening right now? You feel like you're in a straitjacket, and it's suffocating, and that's how you start getting better, when you can handle that. And that's why basketball competition only gets harder and harder and harder, because really the defense starts to get better and better and better. It's really easy to score when the defense is not that great. And then as you go up in the ranks of, in basketball and get better and better and better and play for better teams and get in better leagues and tournaments and all that, the biggest thing is that the defense gets better. And then the players that now separate themselves, that are now truly elite, the ones that go on to play in the NBA, they now can make that hard defense look like maybe the more average Joe person can play against an average defense. It's like they're able to, handle that. The Denver Nuggets did not look like they could handle that. Not even for a second. So I actually think Brew's, little analogy actually was pretty spot on, because I've experienced it, my own, right from the get-go before.
Had you let the tiger out, but I'm gonna eat my sandwich.
You eat your sandwich, and Wilds, do you think the series is over?
No. I mean, it certainly shook my confidence a bit, because no one's listening to me.
Oh.
7-game
I'm not
series.
saying I'm a basketball savant, but
Right.
Josh and I have been grinding the all 10.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take Red Auerbach of the film room to figure out, don't go down double digits every single playoff game. They're like, oh, we should start playing. Yeah, I said that yesterday. And what happened? Down 6 at the end of the first quarter. Then they opened up. Hey, should we switch anything? We're getting out hustled. We're getting outworked. We're getting out schemed. Naz Reid is out here looking like Wilt Chamberlain, and Joker can't do anything. Hold on. Here's the Nuggets in the first half. Wake up! Wake up and play basketball. What are we doing in the playoffs last year? Oh, surprise, surprise. Up 5 and shooting almost 50%. Regular season up 3. Little dip, but sure, why not? Shooting almost 50%. In the playoffs, down almost 9 points at half. This game was over. There's an element of it's not the periphery. It's Joker. Just run the normal stuff.
Well,
run a high pick and roll, and if you're not getting doubled, pull the old Chris Broussard, back down, back down, back down.
It's not easy.
Kick it out, hit a 3.
So-
That's what won you the
Okay.
championship.
Well,
You're
You're
doing
right,
all
you do
sorts
not
of
know
crazy
basketball.
stuff.
So listen, there's also this possibility. They're not as good as you thought they were.
Well, they're gassed.
Well, from what?
Gas.
The
It's
altitude.
second round.
No.
They have to live there.
Okay,
Just visiting.
I mean, so for the record, I don't think the series is 100% over.
No.
I think
I
the
do.
the Nuggets are in dire straits, but I don't think it is 100% over. I know Wilds brought up the fact that only 5 teams have come back from losing the first 2 at home, but it's only happened 29 times. So that means about 1 in 6 come back from it. And a lot of the guys that we talk about, Joker, just pick 2 of the greatest foreign-born players ever, Dirk and Dream, they both did it. We're down 0-2, lost best 2 at home and came back. So I don't think it's impossible, but I think that was a masterclass for Minnesota last night. And to do that without Rudy Gobert on the road when it is the biggest game Denver has played
Must win.
in years?
Yes.
Because they never were, you could say game 3 of the
weren't on
finals
the
last
road.
year, but I think they were pretty convinced.
Still felt confident.
We're in
And they were
control
just
here.
much more
I
talented.
guess maybe game 5 against the Suns last year, round 2, but it's on the level of maybe the biggest game. And I have to tell you, they looked like some front runners. Their coach acted like a front runner. Their second best player certainly acted like a front runner. And Joker wasn't Joker.
No.
It was, and in my opinion, and we'll get to Joker later, 3rd straight game that he has not looked like himself. And a lot of the reasons that I thought this team was beatable. Now, obviously, I was wrong about the Lakers, but I did not think they were this unassailable juggernaut. I thought they were the favorites. I thought they were the best team. Showed up. They don't have a bench. They do miss Bruce Brown. The idea that Michael Porter Jr. is going to shoot 55% from three every game is not going to happen. Yeah. The idea that every postseason, Jamal.
This is not on the bench, though. I understand what he's saying. Obviously, having that bench helps, but the bench is not why they lost. That has nothing to do with Jokic and Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon. Those are the guys that you need. It's not like those guys are balling out and that as soon as Aaron Gordon steps off and, they put in someone on the bench that everything just goes array. That's not what's happening. So that's a cop-out. Just say it. Jokic is not playing good enough. Jamal Murray's not playing good enough. Aaron Gordon's not playing good enough. Michael Porter Jr. is not playing good enough. And in fact, I don't even like the way I just phrased that. Because Minnesota is making them not play good enough. That's the difference. That is absolutely the difference. And I've said this before when we were talking about the Lakers versus the Nuggets. And it wasn't that the Nuggets were making, D'Angelo Russell score 0 points. That was just D'Angelo Russell not being good. And Austin Reeves being inconsistent. So that's the difference. Minnesota Timberwolves are making the Denver Nuggets not play good. That's the difference. I've said this in the last series. Jamal Murray's a big-time player. He's a big-time shot maker. He can get the job done. The Minnesota Timberwolves are saying, not against us. I know you've had lots of success. I know you got a ring. I know you're a champion. Not this season. Not this year. Not if we have anything to say about it. That's the difference. And we always assume that what will ever happen in the past will automatically happen. And I was talking to Joe in the comments a couple weeks ago or something, I think it was at this point. And he said Jokic has never underperformed. Every single series, even the series that he hasn't won, he's always performed in a way that he was supposed to. What's going on here with this one, though, then now? I mean, the Timberwolves are absolutely putting on a master class with what to do. And, I said this, months ago, that this is the best chance of the Denver Nuggets to have to win. And if not, I don't know if they will win. And I specifically said OKC is coming, Minnesota is coming. I thought New Orleans. It's tough to say because obviously Zion keeps getting injured. Is coming. Even the Kings, for that matter, are coming. You have these younger players coming into their own, and Ant has accelerated that, and he's very lucky because he's not lucky. He's very fortunate to be also now surrounded by actual other mature veterans. He's wise and mature beyond his years, more than I thought. But he's also now has a mature coach, a mature team. He has his players. He has the Cats and the Goberts and other players, that are those true veteran leaders. That, Ant is also a leader in his own right, but it's different. You do need that veteran presence. We know that. We know that you need that in football. You need that in basketball. And so that is the benefit that Ant gets to live in right now. LeBron James needed Dwayne Wade's, leadership and ability to know how to actually win a championship. And that's not a knock on LeBron. All these players need that. They just do, unless they're on just a stacked team, which is what happened kind of like with the Golden State Warriors when they started their dynasty. But they were also older at that point too. They were not 22. Steph Curry wasn't 22 years old. So I think what Minnesota Timberwolves are doing is absolutely incredible. I'm totally buying this right now. I think it's going to be. I keep saying this. I think it's going to be OKC versus Timberwolves. And before I pick who I think that's going to be, I got to see how OKC plays the Mavs. But I'm just, it's so hard to see right now when you see how amazing Minnesota is right now, that it's hard to see them losing a game. I mean, I think they will, right? I don't think they're going to sweep the entire playoffs, but I think that before it was said that the Boston Celtics can beat anyone out west except for the Denver Nuggets, and I reject that. I don't think the Celtics will win. I think the Celtics will lose to OKC. I think they'd lose to the Denver Nuggets if they somehow pulled off this, and I think they would lose to the Timberwolves. So I think the Timberwolves are for real. I think Cat is for real. I think Ant is for real. Gobert, Anderson, Conley, all of them. It's just beautiful. They're playing beautiful basketball, and they're doing it in such a smart, mature, and yet physical and composed way that you're seeing their composure is affecting the Denver Nuggets. The smiling while playing defense, having Jokic turn the ball over, having Jamal Murray throw towels and heating pads at the refs, which is insane, and he absolutely should be suspended. The next video I'm going to do is going to be talking about that. And so this has just been awesome. I thought the most exciting game was OKC versus New Orleans Pelicans, that first game. And then maybe even the final game against the Lakers versus the Nuggets. But this past game was mind-blowing to see. Mind-blowing. If anyone ever wants to debate how fun, physical, defensive, teams can be, and it says, it's all about offense, we just need to watch that game and see how much more exciting it is to watch games when players aren't just sitting at the foul line and you can actually play defense and you can actually watch them get physical. And you know what? Everybody was getting upset, but you know what? Jokic complains a lot, and Jokic was not complaining. He had his moments where he was complaining, which is understandable. Everyone complains, as I said, but they were playing good defense. Everyone's acting that the Minnesota Timberwolves were playing football out there. It's nonsense. They were playing good, hard defense, and the calls were going both ways, and the Denver Nuggets couldn't make two. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. Do you think this series is officially over? And do you think the Timberwolves are going to win the NBA championship? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And again, please do consider subscribing. We are building such an amazing community here, and I really do want to see you part of it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm, and I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. See you next time.